tells his father how he really feels. A handshake or a pat on the back is all that he reveals. I'd like to right that wrong here in this little song. Thank you for shaping my life. Thank you for teaching me all you can. You are no
I think one of the most awesome things about my dad is that he took the time to show me, he demonstrated to me that, you could do about anything that you set your mind to do. Looking around this place here, I remember when it was a field up there and this was a gravel pit. Now it's all lush and green and buildings and trees and everything. And, I was a part of all this when it was being done. I remember being out with the shovel trying to dig a ditch while they were out getting stuff set up for the mobile home, Of course, we went along later with the road grader that was made to be pulled by horses with the tractor and used some real machinery, but I felt like I was doing something when I was out there with the shovel. A great lesson that Pops gave me was that it was, 6th grade or so, and I was supposed to cook supper, and Mom had on the list to make spaghetti. We had the spaghetti, but I looked in the fridge and there was no ragu in there. And so I went down and told Dad, I said, I can't make spaghetti because we don't have any ragu. And he gave me the most profound advice I think that I've ever had. He said, what's ragu made out of? Tomatoes. And so I went up and got some oregano and some whole canned tomatoes, and we had spaghetti that night, And I think that was a lesson I took with me. I've applied to a lot of different things, People take a lot of their resources to have somebody else do something for them that if they just stop and think about it, they could do it themselves. And for that, I'm very appreciative. I think back to the times I spent with my dad growing up, and I'm older now than what he was then. And that kind of gives you a different perspective on things, All the time that he spent driving back and forth to work and stuff and, getting really comfortable behind the wheel in the early mornings. That was all stuff that he did to provide for his family, And I think that it was an example of, hard work, And he did what he had to do to get things done. I remember back when we lived down in Lenz Valley that it was in the middle of a blizzard and Dad was at work and Mom was at work and Stanley and me and the boys were home and it was, I was in like 6th grade or something, 5th grade, and in the middle of the blizzard I could smell smoke. And so I started looking around and I found that there was some flames inside where the heater was in the trailer. I called my mom because it wasn't long distance to call Stanley. And I told the ladies at the nursing home there, I said, I need to talk to my mom, our house is on fire. And they were like screaming and you could hear them. I dropped the phone and then nobody came to the phone. So finally I hung up and I called my dad. So it was like his cool thinking, gave us a plan of what to do, I think that reputation is probably, before I started working at my Uncle Cal's, and I remember in the pickup he's telling me, that, your grandfather worked here and has a good reputation as a hard worker and honest, and your uncles are all hard workers and honest people, and that he worked hard and everything, and now I'm the next Futh out there. And that's what he expected of me, and it really stuck with me, I think that if he was to go back and look at all the reviews I've had over the years from different companies, I think that he would be proud of what he saw in there. The coolest thing that I've seen him do was probably back when we lived in Lenz Valley there. He'd come right along on his dirt bike, and he'd go flying into the gravel pit, which was just a big hole dug down into the ground. into a hill, and he'd come riding right around like sideways on around the lip of the gravel pit and then back out the way he came. Dad was awesome on the motorcycle, you know. I'm glad that we've got to share time together, you know, on rides and stuff like that, you know. But yeah, he definitely impressed me on two wheels. Well, once a year, you know, it comes to that point where the ice is frozen up nice and solid down on the slough, and we would go down there. Papa would take the tractor and make a path down onto the ice, and then we'd go down there with the Jeep, and then he'd bring Mom's Thunderbird down there. And he only had one rule then, and that was don't over rev the engine. And man, that was so much fun, you know, learning how to drive on ice and just going crazy in a car, you know. But just don't over rev the engine. I think it amazes me now how much he looks to the future, and he's kind of found a place in life, I think, where the future is important. That he wants to make sure things are right, you know. But it's good. I mean, I think of all the time I would like to be able to spend, you know, doing stuff and, you know, tinkering, whatever you want to call it, you know. But he definitely gets a chance to do that. That's pretty cool. You know, Papa, I'm just thankful for all that you've done, all that you intend to do. I know we judge ourselves by our intentions, but others judge us by our actions. But I see your intentions as well as your actions, and I'm just really thankful for both, you know. And I just look forward to being able to make something really beautiful here, maybe, you know, carry on what you've started, and I hope that you get a chance to enjoy that too.
Happy Father's Day. We love you.